All right, Mommy, Daddy, thank you very much for all you have said. We have heard and we will try our best to imbibe it in our lives and in our career. Okay, so moving on, introducing our next guest speaker, Mr. Damilare Olaniyan is a forward-thinking digital strategist, passionate about leveraging technology and solution business in solving business problems, with extensive experience in communication and new media. He excels in crafting strategies that accelerates growth in today's digital landscape. Mr. Damilare has inspired many through his speaking engagements, including the Nigeria Communication Satellite Acceleration Program and Basic of Agricultural Master Classes, an initiative of the UN Private Sector Advisory Group. As a distinguished Toastmaster, Mr. Damilare is committed to empowering individuals with the skills that they need to excel in communication and leadership, leading the Pathway of Adoption initiative for Toastmasters District 130, where he helps members unlock their full potential through innovative learning tools and resources. He holds an executive MBA with specialization in strategic leadership from Vala Institute and a bachelor's degrees from Obafemi Awolowo University. Please, can we give a warm and kind welcome to our next speaker, Mr. Damilare?
Beyond boundaries, navigating your path for success in a changing world. That's massive. And I believe one of the things we can all agree is that the world we live in right now is rapidly changing. And if you are a graduate, the world you knew when you were entering into the university and the world you're experiencing right now, they are two different worlds apart. I believe that by the time you got into the university, there was nothing as generative AI. I mean, it wasn't in the news, it wasn't commercialized. But today, with tools like ChatGPT, Cloud AI, Perplexity, amongst others, you can generate a body of text. So these like when the calculator was invented and introduced into the school system. The world we have right now is changing. And I'd like to mention that we're already in the fourth industrial revolution, and the traditional focus of education on teacher-centered learning no longer aligns with the flexible approach. Why? Because the traditional education system is incentivized to reward teachers. Why? Because it shows teachers as the top on the hierarchy ladder to share the knowledge. But today, the knowledge of yesterday is obsolete, which means that the focus now is no longer on the teachers, but rather on you, the students, on the environment, on what's happening right now, on global trends. It's quite a dynamic world. So today I'm going to be sharing a lot of insights with you and a lot of them. So just pick the one that resonates with you and fly with it. Do more research on that. Get mentors on that. Ask your peers about that. Do a lot of research. So the first one is seek alternative education where where there is no conflict of interest. For instance, the traditional education system prepares you to go into the factory, prepares you to go into the corporate world, to be a banker, to be a lawyer, to be a doctor. But today, in fact, you don't have to have a degree in engineering to be to be an engineer. You could have any degree, then take some additional certifications and be a qualified engineer. Yeah, that's true. You can check that out. As well as many professions out there. Of course, not all professions. What I'm just trying to say is that you're not destined to have a career in a degree you majored in the university. So if you think that you probably studied the wrong course, don't feel like the world has ended or you have to go back and spend another 10 years in the school. No, just move on. course correct as you move on your path. That's the first thing I'm going to share with you. The second thing is that don't be afraid to fail. In the school system again rewards you for every check mark you get, 99 over 100, 100%. But when you fail, it punishes you. But that's not how the real world works. You have to be putting yourself out there. You have to be facing rejection. You have to be trying new things. You have to be putting yourself out there. So to dare and fail is to learn. In the university, right? In the school, in college, to dare and fail is to fail. But in the real world, to dare and fail is to learn. So you have to keep prototyping. You have to keep trying new things. You need to keep developing new things. You need to develop the artistic mindset of what am I creating today? What am I putting out into the world today? You have to be a creator, not a consumer. The third thing I would like to share with you is that there are a lot of things to do in the world, and sometimes you have no idea what you're called to do. And that's the concept of, okay, what am I destined to do? What's my purpose? And I'll tell you one way to find that out is to do a lot of things. And over time, you see what you gravitate towards. And the best way to do a lot of things is to find causes in the world that you can align with, I can volunteer for. There are orphanages, there are the United Nations always looking for volunteers, right? There are no NGOs, international NGOs, non-profit organizations, a lot of them, uh, all kinds of organizations about causes that affect uh, the populace. Let's say the poverty, that let's say um, medicine, agriculture, technology. We have social entrepreneurship, right? And men amongst many others. So find causes, right, that you can volunteer for. By doing that, you get to find something that your heart gravitates towards. The next thing I'd like to share is the concept of networking. As someone said, it's not what you know, but who you know. How do you get to know more people? You have to set a daily target of, okay, every new day, I want to meet three new people. Of course, that could be hard, but it's not hard in the age of social media. Just go online, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. Send three connections to people every day. Try to meet them. Introduce yourself to them. Who are you? Who are you in this world? How are you different from others? What makes you unique from every other man or woman out there? How do you stand out from other graduates? Tell them. What are you passionate about? What skills do you have? What experience do you have that others do not have? Introduce yourself to others. You're not limited to the folks around you. You are 7 degrees away from any single person all over the world. You're 7 persons away from anyone, whether it's in Australia, whether it is in United States, whether it is in Abuja, whether it's in Canada, anywhere. So meet people every day, at least 3 people, virtually, online, every day. And at least one person in person. Try and have coffee with someone who's living your dream life, with a professor that you respect, with a tech leader that you admire, with an entrepreneur that is doing well that you like to emulate. Try and set up a meeting to them. And next, I'd like to say is on still on network, right? Your worth in life is not tied to who you align with, but the value you bring to the table. Too often you feel like, okay, I need to know this man, I need to connect with this person, I need to know the president, I need to know the commissioner, I need to know the chairman. No, no, be so valuable that everyone wants to know you. That's very important. So every day, commit to this Japanese concept of Kaizen. What can I improve every single day? Commit to personal development, commit to education, commit to self-improvement, commit to skill acquisition, commit to knowledge development. My seventh insight or idea for you is stay with builders, not talkers. I believe you and I have friends that every day they tell us, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to travel to the moon, I'm going to build the rockets, I'm going to start a business, I'm going to what? They keep saying that they've not done anything about that. So try to stay with builders, not stalkers. Find people who are doing things. You don't have to do things in domains that you like. It could be someone who's an engineer who's just working on a prototype. It could be an artist who draws. It could be a graphic designer who designs beautiful flyers. It could be a programmer who builds beautiful websites. It could be a plot designer. It could be an architect. See, people are doing things. So I'm bringing new ideas into reality and spend more time with them. That's where you're encouraged to do more things. To abscond laziness, to abscond the draw and the pull of mediocrity and put and create something right into the world. The eighth thing I like to say is that do a weekly, monthly, and annual skill gap analysis. The thing about life is that if you are not growing, you are regressing, and you want to keep growing. And growth sometimes can be geometrical and sometimes can be exponential. Sometimes you keep adding your ones and ones every single day. Before you know it, you're so far off where you started off. So one thing you have to keep doing is how far off am I away from my dream life? What skill do I have to have right now that I don't have yet? Do I need to understand public speaking? Do I need to understand creative writing? Do I need to understand networking? Do I need to understand negotiation? How can I get this skill? How can I acquire this wisdom? How can I acquire this knowledge? So I have to keep doing that skip gap analysis every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year, so that you don't stay off too far from where you're supposed to be. The ninth idea I would like to share with you is to study game theory. Why? So you can understand the human dynamics. Whether you like it or not, you're going to work with other human beings. And most of the problems you're going to have in this world are going to be human problems, interpersonal problems. And the more you understand what motivates others, the more you understand the politics that take place between communities and big teams, the more you understand the human dynamics, the human psychology, what motivates us, what drives us, the better you are able to suit and fit in into the society. Understand physics. Physics are the laws. Physics encapsulates the laws of nature, gravity. You begin to understand that there's so much physics behind everyday thing, right? Behind technology, behind uh, natural laws, behind how we navigate the art. I'm able to speak and communicate to you. There's a lot of physics behind those things. Understand physics, study art, study humanities, study literature, study anything, really. The whole point is don't limit yourself. Don't say, I am a science student. I have the brain for mathematics, but not literature. Don't say, I'm a lawyer. I prefer literature, not math. Anything math, it's not good for me. Don't say that. Open your mind, expand yourself. Why? Because the world we are living, we're going to the fifth industrial revolution. I'd like to say that by 2026, Elon Musk, humanoid robots, is going to be commercially available. We're going to be having robots in our houses, doing the many tasks, washing plates, answering calls, delivering mails, amongst others. So as we are going into this fifth industrial revolution, the folks who are going to stand out are going to be folks who are able to synthesize knowledge. People who are going to combine knowledge in ways that we have never seen before. So you must be able to connect things. For you to be able to connect things, then you must be open-minded. Your mind should be open. You must be able to explore fields and combine fields that have never been combined before. How can you combine music and physics? How can you combine agriculture and finance? Open your mind, be wild. The different thing, right, is AI, right? Is the age of AI, artificial intelligence. Most importantly, generative AI. You have ChatGPT, Cloud AI, amongst others, that democratizing crystallized knowledge, right? Able to draw out insights from big data. But what AI is lacking right now is consciousness. AI is lacking consciousness, and AI cannot intuit, cannot think intuitively. That's where you are supposed to stand out. You're meant to be men and women of understanding, which means that you have to deeply engage with materials, you have to deeply engage with your industry, you have to deeply engage with humans, that you're able to spot things that machines cannot spot and will not spot. That is a unique advantage. That's what makes it special from every other man or woman out there. That's what makes you unique. They're God-given ideas, ability to emote, ability to think, to feel, to empathize. The next idea I like to share with you is that no is a complete sentence. As we gravitate towards a new way of living, a world that is dynamic, disrupted by technology, you realize that there'll be so much demand on your time. Technology, social media wants to take your time. Friends have plans for you. Your employers have plans for you. The various communities belong to have plans for you. But most times, these plans are not for your own benefit. So if you're not making a plan for yourself, by default, there's a plan for you. And usually, it's not to your own benefit. So you have to make a plan for a weekly plan, a daily plan, a yearly plan, a monthly plan. The, by 10 a.m. tomorrow, you should know what you should be doing 10 a.m. tomorrow. 3 p.m. on Thursday, what are you doing? You should know what you are doing. So that way, I can just call you randomly and say, hey, are you free on Friday, 2 p.m.? I should know that, okay, 2 p.m., I'm supposed to be reading a book. 2 p.m., I'm supposed to be working on this. 2 p.m., I'm supposed to be doing that. So no is a complete sentence. Always find, occupy yourself with productive tasks. But people don't look out for things for you. 13th idea I'd like to share with you is that avoid status games. Status games are you can just keep compiling materials, titles, and everything. You're young. Go for value creation. How do you improve yourself? What do I need to learn? What do I need to know? Who do I need to meet? What platforms do I need to join? Aggressively improve yourself. Aggressively seek out knowledge. Don't just sit out there. Don't just try and prove a point to people. No, this is a time to improve yourself, acquire knowledge, acquire wisdom, and grow. The 14th idea I'd like to share with you is a circle is a web, it's a network. Curate carefully. The folks you associate yourself with, these are your network. There's going to be a source of information. There's going to be a source of opportunities, your learning materials. So create them respectfully, carefully, consciously. See your life depend on it. Because in reality, it does. It does hang out folks who think about smoking, drinking, hang out folks who talk about international opportunities, who talk about scholarships, who talk about fellowships, who send you reminders for conferences and summits like this. So friends you want to associate yourself with, people who read voraciously. who read wide, and who not just read, but apply what they read. So it's very important. Someone said that in 5 years' time, you'll be is that same person, except for who you work with, something like that, are the books you read. And again, if you do it, you have to check that. We're not talking about that today. But the books you read and the folks you hang out with are going to determine the kind of person you're going to be in 5 years' time. So choose them very carefully. The 15th idea I'd like to share is go beyond asset depletion post-conversion, seek value creation through leverage. What does that mean? It means that the way the world works is that you have assets. Your assets right now could be your time, your energy, your skill sets, your attention, your certificates. These are your assets. These are things you own, even your experience. And ideally, you want to convert this into something, maybe money, opportunities. Now, when you convert them to money, what happens? Then you have the money. You buy a car, you buy, I don't know, you buy a phone, you buy something. You see, you have depleted the assets because now you bought what we call liabilities, right? So what you want to do is that find ways that when you convert your assets, which is your time, your education, your intellect, into whatever it is, opportunities or money, find a way to turn that into value creation, right? Okay, if you exchange your time for money, let's say you're working, that means you're working in a corporate environment. You exchange your time for money. That's correct. So what do you do with the money? You just spend the money. Then at the end of the month, you look for another money again. At the end of the month, look for towards the next salary. That's called the rat race. So you want to find ways to turn that money into investments. Maybe buying books, paying for online courses, join programs, investing the money. Or how can I take this current skill sets that people are paying me 100,000 naira, 200,000 naira, 300,000 naira for to something that people can pay me 1 million naira, 2 million naira, 10 million naira for. You see, you start thinking about leverage. And there are many ways to give out leverage. There's something called arbitrage, um, geo arbitrage. Maybe currently in your location, people are paying, I don't know, 50,000 naira for a service, but in Lagos, it's going to cost maybe 200,000. In Abuja, maybe 300,000. In UK, maybe $5,000 or pounds. The United States, maybe $10,000. The question is, how can I access the market in the United States so I can get the highest value for my assets, which in this case, the intellect. See? So I think like that. How can I get the highest value for my assets? Not just converting the asset to where comes and offers you something for it. This is the idea I like to share is that join platforms that's not Jew-centric. I believe you are already on WhatsApp groups where I talk about uh, your school and no the alumni association, a church association and everything. But seek out platforms like the United Nations, uh, all kinds of platforms, right? That are not for Nigerians, for Southerners, for Africans, platforms that are diverse, right? That's where you can access and meet people from Japan, people from United States, people from Canada, people from UK, people from even neighboring countries, Ghana, Liberia. That way, it exposes your mind. It helps you to see beyond the limitations that exist in your local environment. It helps you to see opportunities that are found out there that are probably not even within your current consciousness. So seek out platforms that are not geocentric. Finally, pay attention to global trends. What's happening right now in the world? What's happening right now in your field? What are the latest developments in the health sector? What are the latest developments when it comes to economics, global economics, national economics? What are the latest developments when it comes to technology, when it comes to arts, when it comes to creativity, and entertainment. Pay attention to global trends. So a lot of ideas I've shared today. One of the things I believe is that it's hard to give out advice because I don't understand who you are. I don't know the context where you live right now. I don't know how much money you have in pockets or in your bank. I don't know what opportunities you have around you. I don't know your degree of readiness. I don't know much about you. But I've decided to create these insights because I believe these are general insights that anyone, regardless of where they are right now in life, they are able to apply these things and go far and run far with that. Finally, I'd like to add that as AI comes in to disrupt the world, the world that we know uh, right now, and some things are going to forever do with us. That AI, no matter how much you try to disrupt, it's still going to be what makes us human. One of them will be the ability to communicate. The ability to communicate is very important. And that's why I would like to tell you that if you don't know how to negotiate, please go and take online courses on negotiation because you don't get what you think you deserve, you get what you negotiate for. So ability to negotiate, ability to communicate is very important because communication goes beyond just speaking to other people. Negotiation is a way of communicating. Persuasion and influence, that's a way of communicating. The ability to resolve conflicts is a way to is a form of communication. Public speaking to people as a way to communicate. There are a lot of ways to communicate. So pay attention, pay a lot of money, invest heavily your time, your resources, attention, your money into improving your communication skills. So thank you very much. My name is Damilare, and I hope that you take these lessons, you run with them, find what sticks with you, find what aligns with you, and we're all going to succeed. See how you talk.